بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 4, Form, Meaning and Function. And of course, if you remember, this lesson will be answering lots of questions about some grammatical lessons. But before we do that, let's revise what we previously took in the writing corner here. When you write reflective and speculative personal narrative, think about the following. So let's read it together again. When you write a reflective and speculative personal narrative, think about the following. Reflective means to give your own idea, to reflect upon your own ideas. Speculative, it means to speculate. You're not sure, you're not 100% sure that this information is correct. What has already happened? So, facts. What has already happened? What opportunities were available and what results have taken place? So, the opportunities that were available at that time and the results that have taken place. So, what were the opportunities and what happened, the results? Third, what feelings and attitudes you have experienced. So tell us your feelings and your attitudes. Which people were involved directly or indirectly? The people, maybe your family, your friends, your neighbors, involved directly or even indirectly. How to present your ideas so you can set the context clearly for your reader. So make your writing clear so that they can read it easily. Then refer to the real context and reflect and or evaluate the decision or the choice you made. So reflect and evaluate. Reflect and evaluate the decision or the choice you made. Wonder or speculate. To wonder or speculate, it means to question how things might have been different. Try to wonder, try to speculate, try to question how things might have been different. If you did something differently in the past, what will change in the present? How things might have been different. Address the question to your reader. So the question will be made to your reader, not to yourself. Address the question to your reader. Express satisfaction or regret about your decision or choice. So, at the end, your final decision or your final choice, try to express, are you satisfied with that choice or do you regret making that choice? So this is the writing corner for our previous lesson. Today's lesson objectives: to differentiate, to tell what is different between future progressive and future perfect, using future time expressions correctly, to use them correctly, used to versus be used to, used to versus be used to. So this is the future progressive. This is the future progressive. We use the future progressive. This is the form here. The form, what will you write? You'll write will, be, present participle. Again, will, be, present participle. And remember, I said before, whenever you hear the word progressive, you know that the verb has, yes, an ing. So you see here, will you be working? So whenever any grammar that you hear the word progressive, you know the verb has ing. So again, use the future progressive, will, be, and the present participle for continuous actions in the future. So here we're talking about the future and continuous action, something in progress that's continue to happening when? In the future. Let's take some examples just to make it clear. Affirmative examples here. Genetic testing has the potential to impact millions of lives. Soon we will all be peeking into our medical futures. Soon we will all be peeking. We will, this is will here, will be, this is be here, and the present participle peaking, and notice here the ing. So this will happen in the future. We will be peaking into our medical futures. This is the question form here. Will you be working on the weekend? We start with the auxiliary verb, of course. Will you be working on the weekend? Will, and then the object here, you, be working on the weekend. Of course, the short answer, yes, I will, if it's negative, and if it's positive, no, I won't. So this is the future progressive. The future progressive, just again to remind you, the form will, be, and the present participle, just like here, we will all be peaking. Will and be going to, so will and be going to can be used to talk about a continuous action that will occur in the future. That will occur in the future. So again, will or even be going to can be used to talk about a continuous action that will occur, still didn't happen. We're talking about the future here. For example, what are you going to be doing next weekend? What are you going to be doing next weekend? I'm going to go to my friend's graduation. So we didn't use will here. We used be going to. I am here. This is be am. I'm going to go to my friend's graduation. So I'm here talking about a continuous action that will happen in the future. In conversation, the short answers are enough. It's not necessary to repeat everything because the meaning is clear. For example, here, it's not necessary to say, yes, I will be working on the weekend. It's enough just to say, yes, I will. Or you don't say, no, I won't be working on the weekend. It's just enough to say, no, I won't. So, in conversation, the short answers are enough. It's not necessary to repeat everything because of course, the meaning is clear. So jumping on to the future perfect. Now we're leaving the progressive for the perfect. The future perfect is used to express the idea that an action will be completed in the future before another event or before another specific time in the future. The future perfect is formed with will have plus the past participle. Will have plus the past participle. So we have two things here. Again, the future perfect is used to express the idea, to tell the idea that an action will be completed, not like the progressive, an action will be in progress in the future. No, that the action here will be completed in the future before another action or before another event, or before another specific time in the future. So we have two things to talk about in the future. What's the form? What will we write? Will have plus the past participle. Let's take an example here. By this time tomorrow, this is the first event here. I'm talking about by this time tomorrow, for example, in the afternoon. We will have had the medical test results back. We will have had. So the past participle here is had. We will have had. We will have had the medical test results back. So here, by this time tomorrow, for example, the afternoon tomorrow, the afternoon won't come tomorrow. If the afternoon come, then we will have the medical results back. So we're talking about two things. By this time tomorrow, we will have had the medical test results back. Jumping on to time expressions for the future, to express time. But here we're talking about the future. A week from today, I'll be working in my new job. This is the future progressive, of course, but here we're focusing on the expression. A week from today, so count 7 days from today. A week from today. By the year 2025, we will all have undergone genetic testing at birth. So by the year 2025, 2025, which means the year 2025, we're talking about the future. It means when we reach the year 2025, by that time, this thing will happen. So this is the time expression to talk about a specific time. In our lesson, we're talking about a specific time in the future, a week from today, by the year 2025, and so on. So by the year 2025, we will all have undergone genetic testing. By the time, you say by the time, and just say what time are you talking about. For example here, by the time I'm elderly, it means when I'm old in the future. By the time I'm elderly, smart robots will have become commonplace. Smart robots will have become commonplace. So this is time expressions. It means to talk about specific time in the future. So we're talking about the future here. A week from today, by the year 2025. By the time, then you will say, what time do you mean? By the time I graduate from high school, by the time I find a job. So when you say by the time, talk about what is this time you're talking about. For example here, he said, by the time I'm elderly, which means when I'm old in the future, robots will be a common thing. So exercise A here, use the future progressive or the future perfect to complete each sentence. In some cases, both forms are possible. So sometimes both are correct. Sherry started studying genetics in 2020. By 2024, so this one is already done, she will have been studying genetics for 4 years, because 2020 and 2024, this is 4 years. So Sherry started studying genetics in 2020. By 2024, she will have been studying genetics for 4 years. So number one, my parents got married in 1990. In 1990. So by 2022, it's the same answer, but try to calculate how many years here. Yes, they will have been married for 32 years. My parents got married in 1990. By the year 2022, they will have been married for 32 years. Number two, my brother became a vegetarian 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago. By next week, so how many weeks are there? By next week, yes, let's see the correct answer here. He will have been a vegetarian for a month. So we're talking about 4 weeks. So because he said 3 weeks ago and next week, this makes 4 weeks, which means a month. He will have been a vegetarian for a month. Number three, Jassim starts his new job today, a week from now. So the answer would be a week from now. Yes, he will have been working in his new job for a week, or you can say for 7 days. Or you can say for 7 days. He will have been working in his new job for a week or for 7 days. Number four, some hospitals have used robots in surgery. By 2035, some hospitals have used robots in surgery. By the year 2035, this is almost 12 years or 13 years in the future. So let's see the answer here. All will be using robots in surgery, because now some hospitals, but in the future, all hospitals will be using robots in surgery. Number five, I've already lost 5 kilograms on my diet. If I lose another 2, this is a simple math here. Yes, I will have lost 7 kilograms. If I lose another 2, I will have lost 7 kilograms. Exercise B here, use the future perfect to combine the future events into one sentence using by or by the time. using by or by the time. Write the sentences in your notebook. The first one is already done. The first event, I will graduate from college. The second event, 2023 will come. So by 2023, I will have graduated from college. So now we know how do we answer this question. So let's take number one. The first event, the football game will start. The second event, we will arrive at the stadium. So let's see the correct answer here. By the time we arrive at the stadium, the football game will have started. Perfect here. The football game will have started. By the time we arrive at the stadium, the football game will have started. Number two, the first event, I will fall asleep. I will fall asleep. The second event, this TV show will be over. So I think now you got the hang of it. How do you answer this question? Yes, by the time this TV show is over, I will have fallen asleep. I will have, perfect, fallen asleep. Number three, the first event, I will pass my law exam. The second event, 2025 will come. So, yes, this is an easy one. I will have passed my law exams by 25. I will have passed my law exams by the year 2025. Or you can say, of course, by 2025 and comma, I will have passed my law exams, just like the first one. By 2025, then you write the comma, then you say, I will have passed my law exams. Number four, my father will work as a medical doctor for 20 years. The second event, he will retire. My father will work as a medical doctor for 20 years. And the second event, he will retire. So what do we say here? Yes, by the time he retires, of course, we're talking about my father. My father will have worked as a medical doctor for 20 years. So by the time he retires, my father will have worked as a medical doctor for 20 years. Jumping on to the next part of the for lesson, used to versus be used to. So let's read this one together. Used to plus the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb is used to talk about an action that was repeated habitually in the past, something that you did a lot in the past as a habit, but no longer happens now, but you don't do it now. And to describe a past situation which is no longer true. So, used to plus the base form, something that you did a lot in the past as a habit, or describe a past situation, a situation which is no longer true, and the habit, you don't do it anymore. For example, Tom didn't used to cheat on school test. Didn't used to. He used to be an honest person. He used to be an honest person. So we're talking about his past. He was an honest person, but now he is not. He used to study hard. He used to be a good student. So we use used to plus the base form to talk about a habit that you did in the past. For example, you say, I used to bite my nails. When you say that, it means that now you don't do it. Note, for the negative, we use didn't used to and omit the D. For the negative, we use didn't use to. So we don't say didn't used to, we omit the D, of course. Be used to plus the gerund. So be used to plus the gerund or noun is used to talk about something that has become familiar or habitual. Something that has become familiar or habitual. For example, some people think it's crazy that he works 7 days a week, but he is used to it. He is used to it. So he got used to it. It became a habit for him. Although she is a millionaire now, she isn't used to shopping in expensive stores. So we're talking about something in the present. Be used to plus the gerund or noun. We're talking about something in the present. Unlike used to plus the base form, we're talking about something in the past. Note here, of course, for the negative, be not used to. Be not used to. Do not omit the D. Unlike here, you have to omit the D. Didn't use to. Here, don't omit the D. Just leave it. Another part here, was, were, going to, future in the past. Future in the past. Let's read it together. Was, were, plus going to, plus the base form. I was going to meet him, for example. So we're talking about the future in the past, of course. Was, were, going to, plus the base form of a verb is used to talk about a prediction for the future made in the past, or a past plan that was not carried out. For example, when you say, I was going to meet him, I was going to pay, but he didn't let me, I was going to get out, and so on. So this is a future plan made in the past. When he saw the old man fall, Russ wasn't going to stop. He was going to keep running to catch his flight. Russ realized this was wrong, so he stopped and helped the old man. Notice if the example describes a prediction or an intention that wasn't carried out. So if it's a prediction or an intention. We also use was, were, going to with predictions in the past when we want to predict something in the past. For example, when he was younger, he thought he was going to be rich. He thought he was going to be rich. Exercise C here, look at the pictures. Page 59, complete the paragraph about how Fahad's life has changed since he adopted a healthy lifestyle. Use used to, be used to, and was going to. A year ago, Fahad's life was very difficult. And of course, you can see the pictures, two pictures, how he's eating pizza and being lazy, and how he's now healthy and doing sports like yoga. And so you can write whatever you want. For example, here I said, a year ago, Fahad's life was very different. He used to be careless about his diet. So he used to be careless about his diet. He used to eat junk food. He also used to be lazy and watch movies on his laptop all the time. However, he decided he was going to change his lifestyle. Now he is eating healthy food and exercises every day. So you can write whatever you think is right, as long as it is correct, talking about the difference between the two pictures. Exercise D, think of an important decision you or your family made in the past that has changed your life. Made in the past. Talk about what you used to do before the change and what you are used to doing now. Tell your partner, before we moved to the city, for example, I used to live in a small town. I used to wake up early. I used to sleep early, and so on. Talk about the difference between life in the city, big city, and life in the small town or in the country near a farm, and so on. So you can write this one by yourself. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.